Chips up to here.
The way you can freeze
Burrito, guacamole.
Always been walk to a party. I don't know. Should we say something? I think it was. Sorry.
Oh, it's not actually counting. Oh, wait, no.
Camera's interfering with the signal. Maybe just giving like some sleep. Maybe. I don't know about computers.
Because I'm not sure this one might not be out.
I don't even like computers. No, computers are the worst.
Yeah, I don't know. You
Get rid of them all.
I don't know. It wasn't, yeah, it wasn't on computer. So it says it's supposed to be on computer.
All the other majors here would be flooded from like.
Oh, okay.
We just have to like pick them together.
Most majors involve computers.
That's true.
In some way, shape, or form.
Everyone will become
Literature.
Yeah,
majors.
I'll get to it in a second.
Games don't need computers. Makes it harder.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
CSE
Wait, let me use this Flask Project.
There's one astronomy
Yeah,
and one.
I mean, I hit the 5 project, right? Yeah, and just like.
So I.
Yeah, and then you're fine. Don't worry about that. I mean, I'll.
Preaching to the choir.
Don't worry about this either.
Preaching to the choir.
I'll be telling you how to do it in an easy way. What? Oh, you want to do it too?
Classes.
Okay, UB Learns doesn't exist anymore.
UB Learns and UB Hub.
Everything will be mailed to our doors.
More Netflix.
Well, no more computers, not no. Well,
Integral part of the college experience.
Oh, you're.
I guess the way they could do it is you could postcard. Postcard to Netflix. You get back the DVD, and with the DVD comes a postcard of a bunch of other movie options. And you check that out. Oh no, but I mean, in order to pick the next one, normally you have to like go to your queue. I want this one. DVD.
they could print out like a Netflix magazine.
Depends on our
I
definition
like.
of
Yeah, I thought you meant like this type of deal. I wasn't talking just circuits.
computer in terms of like.
I'm saying there's no electronic sensation ever. Then our whole world turns into like steampunk. Things like you have to turn some cranks to do things. Everything's all these tiny little machines.
It would be kind of fun. You have to get some of those huge hamster wheels if people just like running for hours. That would be
my new major.
Are you just doing real hard?
Yeah, you.
No, I'm just running.
But I still wait for it.
We could take turns and then we could pay tuition.
I don't know.
I would volunteer to do that if it helped out with
Did you
you.
do
Yeah, obviously natural.
Oh, was this the Windows one?
Did you get this? Set of tools you did? Those are the things that I need to lack.
No, I don't need to because that's for Windows.
I can't even see.
I have the things I need.
This is
Yeah, so download that, right click and save that. And then save it. It doesn't matter where.
I don't think it's going to conflict with considering
I
want to think networking.
So
You might, because I see how Chandela's going. Well, that's how
Store your code.
Are you kidding me?
I'm thinking using the actual. I'm thinking
Yeah,
wait
what?
till
Oh,
March.
we got a bookmark? Yeah.
So it's just like a store, like a code store somewhere else. But Git at least before using today. So
I know.
you're fine.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Human bias. No, that one's even harder, so no.
Ew.
Physics, no.
Anyone else have any issues that need solving?
I'm scared.
Cool, cool.
You started?
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's this one.
That was
One.
next year.
Yeah, that one's for next.
If you don't have, does anyone not have a text editor? Were you not, if you weren't here last time,
No,
everyone should be good? Okay, good. I have to download it again.
or it can be counted.
That's it.
Okay. So now, everyone should be at this point. If you're not, then you're probably just catching up and you're probably fine. Where you've created your project and you're on this page and it's like telling you to do things. We'll be doing those things right now. So the first thing we'll be able to do is initialize the Git repository. This will set it up so that later we can do git push Heroku master, and then it'll go to the Heroku servers. And the cool thing with Heroku is once you push to their servers, it'll deploy it. It'll install all of the dependencies that it needs. It'll install, like, it has Python already up there, and it'll just do its magic and give you a link, and then your site will be online. So it's kind of nice that you don't have to do any like server administration crap that is annoying. So I'm just gonna follow these instructions. You could do the same. Git init, initialized empty Git repository, and then I'm gonna set up the remote Heroku Git remote -a UB Twitter, or whatever your name is for your project. And this will just make it so that when we do git push Heroku master, then it'll actually go to Heroku. And then deploy your application, we'll get to there in a second. So now we can actually start coding. Again, I'm using Sublime text. You can use whatever you want, but I like Sublime. I've been using it recently. So we go back to here. We have this. So we created the project in Heroku. We made the directory. We did git init. We did git remote -a with project name. And now we have to do virtual environments. So who knows what a virtual environment is? Has anyone used it before? No. Okay. So when you build applications in Python, when you build your web applications, you're going to be installing random stuff like Flask, like Unicorn, which we'll talk about in a second, and anything else, any other third-party libraries. And what the virtual environment will do is allow you to create kind of a sandbox where you can install stuff without affecting other programs. So later on, we'll be creating a text file like this. And what it will do is take all of the stuff that you've installed and put it into a text file. And it just lists out all of the third-party programs and the version numbers and everything someone needs to know to get your program to run. And then we'll send this requirements that text off to Heroku, and Heroku will install everything, and it's wonderful. What will happen if you don't have a virtual environment is if you have multiple projects with a bunch of different third-party libraries, then every time you do pip freeze, then you'll have like a super long list of stuff because you just like on another project you had like 20 dependencies, but on this one you needed like one. And it can get really messy if you have different versions of different third-party libraries because then it's the same name, but it's installed on the same system, and then one overrides another, and it just gets really messy. The great part about this is that it doesn't work on Windows. I tried getting it to work on Windows today, and it just wouldn't work for me. I saw a lot of blog posts with people complaining about it. It seems like a known issue that some parts don't work, and there's ways to get around it, but it's just not worth it in my opinion. So it's not required. It's just really nice to do. So if you're going to be doing serious web development, again, I would stress to not use Windows, unless you're using a Windows server. But it's unlikely that you will be. So, or less likely at least. So I'm going to set up the virtual environment. What you'll have to do is pip install, I think it's pip install, virtual environment. And I already have it installed, so I'm fine. This should be the same on OS X, it should be the same on even Windows. You can actually install virtual environment on Windows, but it just won't work correctly. And it will be the same on Ubuntu, because I'm using Ubuntu, obviously. So it's already installed. So what I can do is I can say virtual environment VM, like this. And what it does is it installs pip, which is like the basic thing that you need. Pip will install stuff for you. And it creates a directory in the directory called venvironment, or vn. And once we have that, we can say source vn bin activate. And now we're in the virtual environment. So the only thing installed, so if we do pip freeze, which takes all of the installed stuff, you'll see that there's very few things installed. It's like just the bare bones. So that's really nice to do. These are actually probably shouldn't even show up, but I was messy with it before. So you can ignore those. If you don't see those, it's fine. So once we have the virtual environment set up, then we can start actually installing stuff like Flask. And so I'll install Flask. I'll also install Unicorn. And here's another Windows thing. Unicorn could not work on Windows for me. There seems to be some, oh, I didn't do sudo for it. Actually, you don't need sudo. That should be fine. Hopefully this works. Yeah, cool. So all right, I'm successful. All right. So the thing with Unicorn is, I think it has some machine-dependent dependencies. So you need like a Unix system for it to work, unfortunately. Again, not required. Unicorn is just a nice way to run a web server. I won't get too much into it. You can look it up yourself. But for now, we don't need it. It's fine. But I have it on here as well. All right, so once we have that, that's pretty much the basic amount of stuff that we need to install. Not very much, except for like the 20 minutes of stuff that we just did. And now we can actually start coding. So this is what the most basic Flask project looks like. How many of you have used Python before? Cool, a good amount of you. If you haven't, it's very simple. This is how you define a method. This is how you return from a method. The biggest thing is that there's no like braces and there's no semicolons. But besides that, it's pretty simple to follow. This is just importing Flask. This is just a variable, and it's initializing Flask. So the main thing as far as Flask goes that you wouldn't know if you know Python is this decorator. So what this is doing is it's setting up a root called slash, and the method just returns hello world. So when we go to our website, the first thing that it'll go to is this function, and it'll return hello world. And so when we go to the website first, it'll just print out hello world, and that's awesome because it's not like we have some HTML file that's running. And this is dynamic. We can add variable names. We can do for loops. We can do whatever we want. We can hook up to a database, which we'll be doing in like 2 weeks or 4 weeks, I guess now. And then down here, this is just running the app in certain situations. So yeah. So let's do this. I'm going to copy and paste it. Hopefully the quotations work this time. Last time I copy and pasted from my presentation, it didn't work very well. So, all right, so I'll just save it in my folder that we made before, if I can find it. UB Twitter, there we go. And I'll save it as, let's just do UB Twitter.py. It's fine. One thing that you don't want to do, which will cause you lots of headaches, and I just want to put it out there just so you know for the future. If you try to name it site.py, it sometimes will just not work at all because of like weird, like another package is like overriding it or something. I don't know exactly why, but if you name it site.py, it just won't work sometimes. So don't do that. So yeah, I named it ubtwitter.py, and this is the most basic thing that you could possibly do. It just returns hello world when you go to the root directory of the site. And we could add other stuff too later on. You can just do app, like /app.root slash whatever, or /login, or /whatever you want to do. About, doesn't matter. And then you can have, oh, I don't have my Vim bindings in here. Then you can have about, and have it return something else. You're awesome. And then that's just how you add other directories in the website. It's very simple, which is awesome. That's what we're going for here. All right, so there's a few more things that we need to do. And in fact, we can actually probably run this now, if I didn't forget anything. If we just do python ubtwitter.py, it'll start running on the local network. This won't be externally visible. We won't be able to send this link to someone else. And so we can go to the browser now and type in localhost 5000:5000, and you see that this is our website. So this is the most basic website that we could possibly do. And now we just wanted to get it online so we can send it to people. And then we can start building out the Twitter clone, which is awesome. So let's get it online. I'm going to stop here for a second and walk around and see if I can get some of you to this point. So if you have problems or if you're stuck somehow, then let me know. Yeah. If you're just catching up, then you can just catch up while I walk around. Oh yeah, so pip install. Oh, pip is not found. Okay, so install. One second.
Like a whole bunch of calculations done.
Oh, from the Real Python.
Install.
No, it's good that you're
on.
working on that. It's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah, we're gonna need all these calculations. What else would we need?
Can you try that? If you're on Mac and you're having trouble with pip, maybe try that.
I don't know what you're having trouble
Sweet.
with.
I didn't type in your password yet.
There.
All right. Anyone else? Hitting a roadblock. Okay. Yeah. Save it in the directory that we just made, and then you're fine. So you can just call it whatever. Any roadblocks? Okay.
No.
Yes. So what you want to do is you want to go back to the directory. And
What am I
use
supposed to do
source.
after this?
You remember that line?
Oh, I installed a virtual environment.
Source would be in.
I'm trying to figure my stuff out. I'm not there.
So what should happen is you should see.
Oh.
So source would be on that page.
Oh, he set that up after you created that. Or after you created it.
Yeah, so now you're in the This is awesome. And you can install everything. Whatever you install,
Do
just for this.
sometimes you might have to write the same thing on multiple copies.
Yeah. You don't need to go inside.
Oh, no, like so automatic.
This
Say
thing is still
my
going.
Cardinals has some stuff that's like formatted. He uses like tabs This is like blank
No,
here,
we did.
here. So you can find everything they want format.
Yeah.
So you just like, on like tab, spaces. These are
Would you encourage it
it's a
to
blank
Name
text.
the computer.
Oh, yeah, Do you not have the slides?
I didn't need my instrument. I need all of our calls.
Yeah, anyone who got here late, the slides are up here, and the Windows setup that I was talking about, which you should already have up already. All that's up there.
General graph
Yes.
and web area.
A double.
Web.
What's your car's name?
Unicorn.
Pass your going ahead.
like after the
How do I open it?
airplane.
Okay, so what did you do so far?
One day I was driving to school and it came on the way here and then it came on the way
What did
home.
you,
And I have that.
where did you try to do
Oh,
that?
nice.
What did you do to get
I
there?
thought you said Lola for a second. That's what my
That's a
friend named her
different
for.
song.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Usually a man or a woman.
And it said permission denied.
Oh, mine did.
Okay, so you can do the virtual environment.
Lola.
So the
I
reason
just
it's doing it, the reason you're not able to do it right now is because it's trying to install it locally on your system.
Oh, that's why.
And in order to do that, you need to do sudo whatever.
Yeah,
Here we go.
What?
You're not in your virtual environment right now. The way you can tell is
have to make sure
you see on my
it says V and V.
So do I have to?
As like a
I have to like
So if you are in the virtual environment, it should look like this, this, where it has parentheses here.
How do I?
And the way you get into it is you type source, that line in the, yeah, you see it?
Yeah.
Source and then vn/bin/activate. And then you should see parentheses in front of your thing.
No such file.
Are you in the directory that we just made?
Okay, now what do I do?
One of mine.
Oh,
It's something like
Yeah.
NKR.
I did make
Email
it.
us.
Oh.
Alright, yeah, you gotta find it. Maybe it's in documents or something. I don't even know. Did you create it?
Yeah, I did.
You have to make the
You have to make a
directory.
VN fun folder, or
You don't have to create it. The command. So these are two different commands.
yeah,
And the first one will create the folder for you. And then the second one will allow you to go into the virtual environment.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
I made, no, you didn't do it. You didn't make a directory.
There's an error.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, there you go.
For whatever reason, my partner wrote this. I just finished
so we got one minute.
Wait,
Software that was learning that was
Yeah,
like-
Okay, so
yeah,
what
we
have you
got
done to your? I see power.
That happens with
Yeah.
Android Studio too.
Right.
It's like needed.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to look up, does V decrease or increase? And did we implement that wrong?
Like exit?
Yeah, do like that. Oh.
Okay, yeah, so you should
Alright.
be able to do
Okay.
pip install in the PowerShell.
If you
Flask.
open it again.
So, yeah,
Okay.
put it up.
Okay,
But I know that, so then I just do.
Ooh, wait. Can we get assistance?
Yes, you can. 1 second.
I've decided he's gonna have.
So you should be able to do that. If you got past the Windows thing. Alright.
Okay, I like got this far and then I got lost.
Okay,
I wasn't
that's good so far.
understanding.
Did you create the directory?
No.
Okay, so do that.
you have to
So what happened to
download.
your partner?
Let me think.
Just type in virtual.
Alright, so you're logged into Roku.
Have it, and then just
So you want to
install
create a
it.
directory, so mkdir,
Is he an office hour sometimes?
and then space whatever you want to call your project. Did you create the project on Roku?
I
think so.
tried.
Like, yeah, just did the.
Yeah, I got like lost.
Okay. Go up. Scroll up. You go to My Apps.
Oh,
Get
okay.
in it. Get in it.
Okay.
If for whatever reason your partner
You know
drops
the
or
directory.
Okay, so you're fine. Hit the plus button.
And
And then you can just go against the process. And then whatever you call your app, make a directory called the same thing.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, okay, good. Now I heard that.
Okay. What is that?
Yeah.
You might not have. Did you do the
Flask or no?
Oh, it's true.
Did you install
Name
it?
it baby out. but
Does
then
Git work?
like I don't know if it's gonna
Once you're in
get
the
that
virtual
big.
machine,
Okay, Flask.
I know
It doesn't.
I would think so, but like it has
this app speaking.
you shouldn't be control Z. They're in like a script right now.
Yeah.
Control Z not working.
Okay, so it's just asking you to set up the like do these 2 lines of that
Okay, because it's not sure.
Because you're like in.
When you try to push
You're
it,
not
you're
actually
getting errors because you haven't actually done it
This
correctly
is
yet.
also available.
Yes.
Just press a bunch of buttons. So
I know, I guess I would have made my.
I don't know, no. Where am I?
Do I just do
Okay,
that?
so
I believe so, yes.
oh. Okay, so you did that, but you accidentally put
I need to
a
close some of these that I
character in front of it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Pancakes.
No, it was, I don't know.
Okay, you didn't do the first one.
I'll just
virtual.
assume pancakes. It sounds like a good
I did.
website.
Virtual pancakes? That's my favorite website.
Yeah, see, I just did that part, so after I
Make sure
just
you
did that,
MrBreakfast.com.
Yes.
now what?
Wait, what's this for?
No, you don't do the second part of that.
No, it's a whole website dedicated to breakfast.
Oh my
Do you see that in front of it?
MrBreakfast.com.
What does it do?
Just tells you more about breakfast.
Eat it?
So when you do sudo pip install, it'll install it with your full machine.
All breakfast.com, look at that. I like that. Breakfast specials.
Okay, so you're good. So now you can go to the directory here in the directory.
Yeah.
So you can
It's
do,
all breakfast, all.
pull it up.
It's Mr. Breakfast.
Do I do,
So just breakfast.
do I again do sudo?
So now that,
What's your
what?
favorite cereal?
Sorry.
My favorite
Did it work?
Oh boy.
Yes, that's fine. So now the bottom 2 lines are 2 different commands.
That's actually
that you
number
have to type
1.
in.
Is it?
Top 100 series.
First one.
Yes.
According to
The
Mr.
first one will create the
Breakfast.com.
directory for you. And then the second one will
The
activate.
thing is, it's like, there's more sugary, but like Lucky Charms is way more sugary.
Yeah.
So it's like a nice middle ground. You get a nice crunch.
It doesn't matter, it's just a name.
Yeah,
okay.
you get a nice crunch sometimes.
You can name it whatever you want.
What are these both open? What am I doing?
Yes, because we didn't get
Wonderful.
to
This is where I want to be.
You have to do like a bit of profile.
I don't know. Get rid of one.
Let's see what's the
Alright, good.
So the name of the profile file is profile
I
application.
have that.
special
Okay, get
Great.
Are you
Do I have to download Get that?
It's okay, you'll be famous for a couple
Oh
seconds.
god.
Are you guys leaving?
You're supposed to save it.
I'll come back later.
You saved it in the Git.
Yeah,
You just got to-
No.
Yeah, you can just-
Why would it save it there?
I thought it was, I was deleted.
Oh yeah, I see.
No, just take this,
Later.
just take it
Thanks for coming
away.
by.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you don't have a
You
screen.
wanna play racquetball?
This is,
Take it away.
Yeah, we didn't even
I'm
record.
terrified that someone.
What did I do now?
So we're just gonna like go with
this is all this. Oh boy.
It's that
You still have
Never
that?
played it.
I like, yeah, this is, it tells me
Wait, look at
to really
this.
download this thing.
It's just outside of everything.
Don't believe the
I feel like it wants me to save this as a file
They just take your driver's license.
and
To make
then
sure it's
call
like
that file. And then-
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you see.
Save mine.
It looks like a serial.
No.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I thought it was just landed. They didn't do it down at the bottom.
Initialize.
Well, I mean, it has to
I logged in and then I did this thing.
Git
It's not
add.
Git.
Did you add it?
Oh, I did.
You-
Oh wait, wait.
you were inside you.
Well, they're using HTML5, so 2015, yeah.
Go to your terminal.
So,
Can you type in
They like
CD?
Probably my phone
And
release.
It might be because you don't have your requirements of JSON.
Oh.
I literally have no idea why that's happening.
And then go.
Anyone hitting roadblocks?
You're using HTML5 elements.
Remote dash
Oh my god.
A.
Yo, so, yeah, when we exited,
I remember CD from
This part
Yeah,
says
from
Okay, good.
Oh, you never.
So CVEs.
that level.
So
Okay,
bad.
okay,
So you
I
can
did
notify all the
so
other
bad.
threads.
Yeah, so you can do Git init. 'Cause you're in
You
the
need to notify other threads.
I
that-
Do I
did
need to
Git
type
init.
Heroku get for?
Okay.
I did the. I sent it to this.
That's the way that
Git
Jan
project,
does it.
like a directory, change
then-
to
I
that.
didn't implement it, so I kind of.
That's
Git
specific to
wall,
local
Git
repository.
in.
You have to do a few things before that.
So do I have to do that now?
Run
It's
the
very
It
big.
just makes me
Should open
smile.
it up.
I guess.
So,
It
I'll-
makes me
I'll
smile.
That sounds
walk you
weird.
through it again.
But like you are.
So, did you do this?
Yeah.
You did this, okay. So, did you create a Python file?
That is like comes up and then it's
Oh wow, this is really
like
like,
cover it.
Or whatever you want to
this
use.
part is easy.
It's called a
Also
flobber.
because exit only takes.
Never remember.
Yeah, so
That's
create a Python file with
One of the
that.
TAs is like, oh yeah, I'm doing this one.
You actually print that out?
Save it in the directory.
Well,
Call it whatever your project is.
Yeah, you change that, but do you not put anything for yourself? I just leave it.
And then you can go to your PowerShell
And then
and
you
do
exit
Python
that.
the file that you made, and it should run the web server.
It
and you
did
should be able to
We
get
also
it.
did a recitation on it too.
Let me know how that
Just
works.
exclusively on exit, or he did?
Well, no, he did like 2 minutes because
Yeah.
it's pretty easy.
Did he cover full?
With the proc file, though,
David.
you need unicorns to do that.
Thoroughly?
Yeah, it's
You
the
don't
last
need it
recitation
locally,
that he did
but
before
Heroku
he
can
said.
handle it, so it's fine.
Oh, look, I can put my name inside of it.
Yeah, I got full. He's freaking out somewhere.
This video is gonna have a lot of white space.
Ideally, Alex will edit it.
Oh, I edit this, Alex.
Did some-
Okay. Do you set
Alright, so I'm
up
gonna move on.
virtual-
If you're not up to this point, it's fine. I'm not gonna do anything super
Go
crazy.
on.
I'm just gonna get it up on Heroku.
This is
so we
a
can get our
virtual
actual first
environment.
website.
Yeah.
Alright, so I know some of you have moved on without my permission and have messed up. So let me show you what this all actually means. Yeah, you have a, you raise your hand.
How'd you get the local host thing running?
Oh, so if you do Python in the directory that we just made, if you do Python plus the Python file, did you make the Python with this?
Yeah, I made it.
Yeah, so go to your command terminal and do Python, and then space whatever your thing is.
Wait, Isaac, you didn't actually mention anything about it.
So it's pronounced.
Also, pro tip, you can start typing it
Search
in
in it?
Yeah.
and it'll fill out
Oh, he didn't
the
want
rest
to
of it for you.
Oh,
Kinda fun. Sounds more violent.
So now you can do that. You can go to localhost colon
More
5000.
violent and then
And you should have a list of
But Jeff said when you can.
It's the corner out here.
No
It's
space.
all organic.
So I use that.
Okay.
Sweet. So you have a website.
I'm sure you can use some.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. I changed the fee to be.
Wix.
Alright, so proc file. The proc file you don't really need locally. You can use it by doing foreman start or whatever, but I won't do it now because not everyone can get Unicorn installed. The proc file will go to Heroku, and this line right here is what Heroku will run to get your web server running. And for us, we're just going to be doing Unicorn and then Unicorn stuff at the end. You don't really have to worry about what that is. Just make sure that the project name is right there. So I'll do it right now with mine. So first, let's create the proc file. It's just a normal file, no file extension, just called proc file. So I'll create a new file, copy paste that in, change this to UB Twitter for me. Oops. Save it in the same directory that we've been working in as proc file, capital P, it matters, proc file. What did I do here? I'll save that, whatever. Actually, I'll order this. And that's all you have to do for the proc file. We'll commit it in the Git repository and then push it up in a second. But as far as this file goes, that's all you have to do. You don't have to touch it anymore. Unless you want to do fancy stuff, which I don't even know. Okay, so requirements.txt. We talked about this a little bit before. This will show all of the things that are installed. So if I do pip freeze here, it'll see some of the stuff that was installed. We installed Flask, which also installed Jinja and a few other stuff. And then we installed Unicorn. Doesn't actually matter, but Heroku needs it. So what we can do is we can do pip freeze. This little greater than sign, or no, is that less than sign? Whatever it is. And then requirements.txt. And what all this does is it takes the output from freeze and puts it in requirement.txt. So all of this will go into requirements.txt. So if we do this, and then if we open requirements.txt, we'll see the output. And that's all we need for that. So, yeah, I saw that. We already did that. Okay, so now we can actually push stuff. Now, you might, if you're on Windows, you might run into problems with this, and I'll get to it if people run into it. I ran into it, and the solution isn't very nice, but I can, basically you might have to like rewrite this manually, which would be annoying, but just because of how Windows formats files and how Heroku doesn't like it, but we'll get to there if we need it. So what we can do is we can do git add everything, then we can commit it. And hopefully that worked. And then we can push it. And let's see if I can get this working the first time. Git push Heroku master. All right, so what it's doing right now, hopefully if it works, is, oh, Jesus. No cedar. What does that mean? Time to Google stuff.
Pretty much what
Yeah.
Got to cut my PhD.
So when you run into problems when you do developing, you just Google it and then people tell you what to do. I don't think so, did I?
It's amazing. What's not? Oh, you forgot to ask.
Oh, okay, so if you get this, then you misspelled something. I did move. Make sure it's requirements, not requirement. Spelling matters. So let's do git, add again, everything, crap.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, so let's commit it again. And then push it up. Git push Heroku master. So what Heroku does is it sees that you're pushing, and it will start building everything that needs to be built. It detects what kind of app you have, and then it installs all the dependencies within requirements.txt, installs anything. It's installing Python now, and it should just magically work. Sometimes you might run into issues like I did, and it's usually your fault, so just give this a second. It takes longer sometimes than others. Usually the first one will take a while because it has to install everything, but I think they're smart about it now and only install it when you change it after the first one. Pretty please. So now it's looking at the proc file and hopefully running it soon. Now it's launching it. Yada, yada, yada. Big money, big money. Yay, okay, so let's see if it worked. So if I go to UB Twitter, is that what the name of it is? RokuApp.com. Yay, it worked, cool. So this is an actual site. You can send people this link, you can do whatever, and it's an actual website, which is really cool. I want to wait a little bit again to make sure people can do this. Problems?
So,
biggest
This is
space.
there.
Except the unicorn.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh, this partner didn't work for you? Well, yeah. Oh, it did.
Now,
I know, like, because you're not in the right directory.
Oh.
So like, just trying to add like everything to your system now. So that would take a while.
You did it.
yeah, I did it until last time. No, it was the last one.
But it didn't. Oh, right.
I want to know what she's
Installed like the virtual machine.
Long term,
I don't even need to do
So
that.
that's it doesn't actually do that.
Yeah, so, Roku will take that.
He said it would work.
And it'll run the unicorn, whatever it's doing. And that will just start the server on.
Do I need this period? I'm thinking it's just like, yeah.
Oh, you mean the requirements of X?
It's dangerous.
No, requirements of work, I did like the proc file match.
Yeah. I didn't make
Right, so that's not a condition, you put that into the prop file. Prop file is one thing.
That's what I asked him.
So it's an actual
So
file.
I gotta go in.
Yes. Yeah, I can pull it up.
I gotta go to Heroku.
What's that?
The website. Okay. What's this?
Yeah, so proc file is an actual file. It's not a command or anything that you run.
Yeah.
But Unicorn, UV Twitter, whatever app, that will be run by Heroku. So all you need is proc file with that line in it. And you don't have to touch it anymore.
And no, it has no extension.
No extension. Just proc files have to be. Make sure you switch out your name, the name of your project.
Yeah.
All right.
I named mine Twitter -UB. Is that a problem? Like, I mean, we're all getting like the application error, but like everything
dashes. Do all of you have dashes?
No.
I don't. I'm
Okay.
So let me look at what you got. I mean, everything committed. Like I had no problems on where you're at. It just,
Did you push it?
Yeah.
And what happened when you pushed it?
Everything. Like, it all.
Did it say successful?
Yeah. It's all good. I mean, you can try it again. So maybe we do this. Let's see.
I think the best hope is just to go home and watch the video until it started.
What's where you need UI.
Oh, you didn't do dash. You did dash in the proc file. Didn't you?
Oh, the exact
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Oh.
It has to be the file. It has to be the same as the Python file. Not necessarily the directory. I just said that to make it easier for whoever.
But change the Python.
To dash.
That should be.
Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah, that should work. All right. Next.
You ready
Oh,
for
yeah.
our proof
I
of
do
this
do
one?
this.
Yes, that's important. Did you not do it too? Cool. Two birds with one stone.
I'm like, you know,
Sit
like,
next to 2 minutes.
So what am I supposed to do?
One job.
So I have to say,
because those are the things I have to do.
I don't have English.
So why don't we
Do next semester.
Nope.
Or do we
Done.
commit again?
Just type that
You're done.
into
Yeah, once you.
That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
This is the only semester I have and
it
will
has to
have.
be in your project. In the project
It's
folder.
very good.
Not all of them at once, we have to do them
And
all
you
at
don't,
the same
you're only
time.
noticing you don't have a personal environment for that, but.
See, but
Just go to the
without
directory
sauce.
stuff.
Did you
There's no rapid salvation plan.
push?
Just keeps your mouth open for too long when this starts bubbling.
Even if it's not on it.
I would suggest not getting there.
Slowly just like, no.
Your name.
There's that much water.
I'm just gonna leave that somewhere.
I'm assuming you're like closing your
Well, like,
eyes.
use a developer machine.
Okay,
Here's where like
I'm
it's
gonna put it on brand directory.
especially like
You might have just like.
Yeah, I saw that.
Can you like,
Experience master.
they're like knobs on this table.
Any roadblocks? Roadblocks?
I'm not sure.
Anyone get it working? Not yet? You got it working?
What was that?
You have no
It's done.
What did you do last? What do you have?
I made a prod file.
Okay.
Can you open
So you need the
up
requirements for
like
text. Did you do
a
that?
document?
Oh, it's done.
Did
Yeah,
you
we
open
got
a
it.
document? How did you
Where's
get
the
there?
prop file? Prop file should be in the same directory.
I changed mine.
No, no,
You also don't have virtual environment set up, which is not
All
a
things
requirement, but it is nice to have. It's a good thing to use to do.
Which no.
The virtual environment, it should be up. That the last 2 lines was there.
No, I
If
didn't.
you have it installed. If not, you can do pip install virtual
I
environment.
know, we can do it together.
Oh no.
I have that thing.
We'll never see the other coin ever again.
Anyone else stop?
Yeah, the pep isn't working for me in this folder.
What is the
It's just saying pep isn't recommended as the original.
did you install pip?
Yeah.
Oh wait, we had this issue before. Wait, weren't you using PowerShell?
Yeah, now. It didn't work in PowerShell, it's only working here.
When did you do this? Made us stop.
Windows 8?
Why did it not?
I guess. Web development. It's good at a lot of things, but
I'll
not
try it
this.
on PowerShell quick.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have the file created, are you? Because I tried it with it without it created.
No, you don't need it created.
Okay.
It'll create it
That's how
for
you
you.
say it, don't you?
How are you doing? It worked?
I created it first.
What's Ashani? Is it
Yeah.
Where is it?
So it was fine.
Ashani.
I see application error
No,
still.
ish.
Okay.
Mine's working.
Oh, sweet.
I got it.
Nice. You got it working. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Are you doing this? What are you doing? I don't know.
Fork.
Saying it's not recognized.
I kind of once like you said Windows sucks, and I'm just having so much trouble with it.
Wait, what do you want? Are you on? Oh, you have the virtual box.
Yeah. I just didn't want to have an OS virtual box.
Why do you want to do that? Can't you just do this?
I have like 5.
Like open at the same time.
Not open.
Oh yeah.
I don't need them all open at the same time.
Do you know Anne?
Is it working?
I tried to solve.
No. I feel like the movie
Yeah,
Very Girl.
I don't know how
My
to
friend
do
just
it.
like messaged me saying like, oh, love that line in Hard Knock Life, and they're like, it's easier than putting up a fire. That whole thing. He's like, I just realized for the first time that like, it's not the words. It's easier than putting in a pie. He's like, I've been seeing, like, I've sung that song, like, we went to see, like, that musical so many times, because, like, that was his childhood
It's
movie.
easier than putting in a pie.
Easier than putting in a pie. Ugh.
Well.
Or is this a system?
Right.
Probably is.
I don't know. Have you ever
What
put
are we-
things in pies?
what are we putting in
Things in
pies?
pies is very easy.
What are we putting?
Go to.
Putting
I
it.
redid Patrick's.
Lost hopes and dreams.
We're putting it in a pie.
Oh,
Pudding, yes. Like a pudding.
Wait, is that what
Wait,
I'm
you
talking
using
about?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, I thought it was
Actual
like
site?
putting like.
Oh,
No.
P-U-T-T-I-N-G.
PUDD.
I pushed a new one.
Easier than a pudding pie.
No, easier than
Yeah.
pudding in pie.
Right? You do it again with the different master.
Yeah, you
So
should put it.
it's so easy.
Oh, okay. The master's one is.
In the pie.
okay.
This is even
But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how we mastered.
No.
I would say
Just
Google it.
singing in the shower.
It's much
and
bigger.
it's pudding in a
I
pie.
think
It's so easy.
It's that easy, which is like notoriously like bad lyrics, but like
You guys good?
he's been getting
No, we're
more.
coming
I
up.
don't think I
gotta
ever
do.
That smile doesn't
Roku.
mean anything good.
We have 2 separate issues.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think, I don't really know how to make the Roku.
For you.
Oh, so you're making
So I actually wound up, I think, going
Yeah, I
ahead.
want to, but I need to boot it up.
Without that, I have pip, and I have,
Well, I have one hard drive that I just allocated to Windows, and the other one's mine. It's two.
Flask is all in.
You have an account.
Yeah, that counts all good.
So if you go to My Apps.
Here?
Yeah.
That's what, this brings me to
So
this.
Ashani made this part.
It brings you to the list of apps that you have. Okay, so you can create a new app now. With the
I made
Flask
this
you
one.
wrote this?
Yeah, I wrote everything here.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I
Oh,
made
yeah,
That's
you're
why
taking
I
it
got
away. Oh.
And then you can just create an app. It doesn't. tell you it's just a plus. What does that mean? It's fine. Alright, yeah,
I'd be
second
like,
problem.
We just like
here.
saw
No, I have to change these
It's
pictures.
where I was left off.
Oh, okay.
And I don't, like, I don't
I
have
was like,
to.
no, I'm not ready.
Okay, do you install virtual and
Can you please take that
How do
apart?
I-
if you do pip install
Is it-
virtual
How did you get
in
this?
in the
Done.
Where?
from the command line.
Oh, okay.
So if you do pip install,
All one or?
no, just two, yeah, so space install space.
It's a lot different with like background in there.
Yeah.
Oh, like
It's looking
real.
so.
Oh.
END.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
like the part of it.
They have so many pictures though.
Okay, so you need to
Yeah,
install
because
pip. I
they
had it
don't
in a second.
pictures.
1 second.
Hackathon stuff, but then
You just need to run.
a big just like
Yeah,
desktop.
nothing,
Isn't that
yeah.
thing installed?
It's not- it should be
I
too
mean,
much.
it would have
I
a
don't even know
gallery.
what that thing installed.
So you just need to run this,
Okay.
and then it'll install pip, and then you can install virtual env, and then you can run those commands.
Okay.
And then after that,
And then after that, we can get there once you get there.
Yeah, that'll take a couple minutes.
Anyone else? All right. So who has it up online?
he's gonna go with like
Nice,
5
nice.
hours again.
You do, yeah. Do you guys know?
I got this for me.
Okay. So did you do the at any point did you do git push from the master?
Computer pass?
Okay. So go to your directory that everything is in. All right. So what's in there?
I.
SE, can you do ls?
Mhm.
So you have the profile, you have the params test, you have that. Cool.
No, I.
Can I see the profile?
Yeah, that's like French.
Yeah.
Good, good. Not .py.
Are you
Just
planning to buy a MacBook?
that.
What's the difference between MacBook and MacBook Pro?
That's good.
That's fine.
MacBook
so
Pro.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, there is Pro and.
Well, I mean, on their website they have two different things.
That's the new one they just released today.
Well, yeah, I know it's the new one. Yeah, have you seen
I
it?
can pull it up.
Yeah, it's, I don't like it.
What don't you like about it?
Which
Um,
one's
It is
that?
beautiful.
It only has one
Don't
USB port.
understand.
It has
Yeah,
one-
that's kidding.
one port.
Yeah, so
you
do
charge
this.
USB.
I think they're just going for the thinnest thing they
That
can
is-
get. Like, I mean, this
I've
thing has
heard
4
thin.
ports, like
That's
VGA,
That-
HDMI.
then you
That
can
thing,
see
your
it's
actual
too thin
laptop.
for like HDMI.
Yeah,
man.
I
It
don't
has
know.
nothing.
Ew.
I didn't think
Oh,
about
you
that.
just-
I didn't think about that reason.
Yeah,
I was looking
just
at.
like-
It's also more expensive
Gotta
than
use
the air
one
and
thing.
less powerful.
Once
Ew.
the air's like the last two steps.
Sorry, try again.
Is it thinner than the air?
Huh?
Oh,
Is it
okay.
thinner than the air?
Yeah.
Try just doing the Windows 7
That's
again.
crazy though. Oh, I mean,
It's
that's nice.
thinner,
It looks
but
nice.
it's got 1.1.
But not practical
Yeah,
for
but
like
let me type
what
it.
we do.
Wait,
Ew,
just
the
type in your
processor.
password.
I did, and
Probably a
it's
couple
still
generations
four.
out from now it'll be pretty good.
That's awesome.
That's what I'm looking at. That is the
Oh, yeah.
coolest
Okay, so-
thing.
Hey,
I don't put a
You remember like the
It's
gold,
mine
you just
for
asked me
password.
gold and white dress or
Email name.
black dress?
Oh,
I
yeah,
see
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
like this mad.
There'll be a meme of that guaranteed later today somewhere.
So you see these, it says run.
You should get
That's
a
what I saw
refurbished
blue
one.
black.
That's what I got one.
That's just.
I mean, I'm just looking at it because it's gold.
Type the.
No, but it's not awful at all.
Oh, I know. It's so it's like this thing
And
is
it's so
Yeah, it's only
overpriced.
$13.
$1,300.
to get the specs on like this is like $2,300.
Why would-
Because my friend got like $2,300.
I got 2,000.
Yeah,
Password
and we got
1.34.
15 inch, so that's
Yeah.
like a lot.
This one's for 15.
But, well, it was 1,800. But I got a refurbished.
I mean, I changed mine real quick on Mac.
Yeah.
So I'm
Like
a,
Hackintosh?
no, it's
Master guys.
Mac D.
Oh.
So everything's
now
like
I wanted-
Mac.
Yeah, you
So you want one?
Yeah, I want a Mac.
Password
I mean, the retina resolution is just
Yeah.
freaking awesome. I know. I mean, this is good, but like that's just next level.
Did you do this? Number 4.
But I was right.
Okay.
I got
So do that
mine
first,
for
and then you
that.
should be able to do it.
Self-hit. So
This
then
is
I
like-
went and I did
Yeah,
sudo.
Is
this retina?
Yeah.
That's not it.
I got the
It was Git
$200
push or
student
master?
discount.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
And I
So if you
didn't
did
put
everything
the-
correctly,
Did you get a
it
base
should
one?
be
Did you
good.
change everything or?
Nice.
No, I just got the,
How much?
It's an underscore, right?
RAM.
Yeah.
No, storage.
256.
That's what I
Get
thought.
this.
Wait,
Hold on, it was a $200 discount.
But did I type it in wrong?
College
I
think it's
only like in the summer, like before
Where
the
was I getting that from?
Oh, okay, I got
No.
this. I got my laptop like last month.
Yeah, so
No, I got
That
the
thing is
$200
so
discount at the end of freshman year.
Okay.
He
I mean,
Googled
freshman,
it.
first semester.
It was
Oh.
in freshman year.
This is my phone.
Easy stuff.
You're like, oh, I
you see how succinct that thing is?
Type in your password.
That
Password.
is so beautiful.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's
Use
one
the
year,
password
that's
set.
it. Where do you charge this?
It's only for people who just have it.
So most common passwords. It's just
We
password.
just want to black
If it was like
One, two,
$500.
three, four,
Yeah, it's like a
five.
phone book.
Whoa, yeah, like
With
No,
all
it's
six.
just a
Type backwards.
That
Or
thing
like
is
according to the password
Do
backwards.
it. Get it right.
I'll never.
I have right now.
I can get home.
I think that might have
Yes.
I'm scared.
Do you want an iPhone too or not?
Okay, no,
Like,
it's fine. It's environment.
I switched to a Mac. I do like
It wasn't 2 hours.
Scroll up.
I've grown accustomed.
Did it work out in the end? Yeah.
Hit install virtual env.
No, I have class. Sadly.
Are we done?
Press fingers.
I got one. Yeah, I got class.
I'm like comment. I can comment.
Oh, okay, Brad.
No, you can.
Aw.
You can do it. I'm gonna forget everything.
Why? How's it?
Well, you don't need to remember anything.
Install
Remember now how to
Installing collected packages.
How do you commit your change?
What's crazy about this?
No, it's
Look,
not
look,
good.
look, look.
It looks nice, but. Just like
Do
the
it,
one
do
I
it.
did.
I don't know.
What, edit freestyling?
No,
No,
that's,
I was just
that's
talking.
your mic.
That's
That's bad.
Oh, and then I'm doing this thing, right?
Can you maximize it? But yeah, I already know pretty much like once I get my bonus, this guy.
Oh, okay.
So this guy right here. So not
Onto VirtualBox scaling. There's like something you can install.
Wait, did you copy both files?
I thought it was one at
Yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't host it. It's trash.
Why?
Looks like a booth.
Apple's
What's today? Today is. And today is Monday. Oh, you guys can do it on
What the hell?
Tuesday, don't
It's
worry.
probably like gonna be like something.
Yeah, you might want to exit out of that.
Like a black barbecue or something. What was I doing? I forgot what I was doing. They gave me a $40 discount. Pick the same option. You just have Isaac Lee in the office. Yeah. Like try something there.
Be a sophomore.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Have you seen one? I haven't seen one. It actually doesn't look bad. It's actually that's not too good for me. I love their website. Yeah, I love
Same
it.
class. Oh, I hate it.
How was the
Hard.
Really?
Oh my god, yeah.
What did you get?
We're
Oh.
probably gonna see that.
And you struggled to get it?
Yeah, no secret.
Did you install?
Yeah, I got Pip.
What is it? Just teaching you?
I got Pip.
That and like.
Cedars.
You know what? I'm wondering if I actually just
Coding
just
or
really
something.
Yeah, I think in the fall.
You're taking a look at the right teacher.
Oh no! It's gotta be
It
Cedar.
says,
It's gonna Cedars around here.
Teach for one. Then it might be one.
No,
Good 60 you want to take.
there's just staff.
Oh,
You're
okay.
in the highest grade.
Good.
Tallest Cedar.
Maybe somebody else.
Only been.
You definitely need that to like make sure the signal's right.
Oh, what if I get some Cedar?
Yeah,
If I get some
that's
Cedar, crush them up.
So does that show you
Probably
Well,
All of them.
we're just, I don't know.
Fill them up with Cedar juice. Pour the sap right on it.
It's like not even coding yet, it's like grammar.
What are we
You said you graduate this year?
And you left.
And
You joined again.
I'm trying to think about it.
the reason is because people listen to
formatting, there's like random. Yeah, type it out. I know it sounds super weird, but trust me.
Have to study for
Please let that be the
And then run the top.
Oh, fun.
They do all like the engineering at one time.
Should we move the camera?
No, let's talk to the
Are we
camera.
finished?
Turn it.
Well, I know, but I
I know, I'm just gonna
I'm
knock
gonna
it off
get
the
it.
robot legs. I don't know.
How much more
Do
are
you
you
know
doing?
If you know what you're doing.
No, I didn't.
Robot legs?
No, I can go faster if you guys want.
No,
want
I'm
to
gonna say
leave.
if I move it, it's gonna topple off the robot legs.
Do you want to do hardware or
Freestyling.
Turn the camera off the robot legs.
Oh yeah, the last one's freestyle.
Do I have to
I don't know what that means.
And then just look like a cool robot.
These are the things.
Yeah, so that's the end of my
Pros and
slide.
cons and everything in life.
But I know that there's going to be a bunch of.
All right, so I'm gonna go through this quickly because people are complaining. How long is it gonna take? No, I'm kidding. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna create a template, and this allows us to create another file, another HTML file, and write our HTML in another file, so we don't have to do like HTML and all that inside of that. That would be really annoying. So what you can do is create another directory called templates. I should have wrote this on the slides, but I didn't. So now you have templates in here, and you can create a new file and do like I heard what is happening.
Can you maybe
me a
put
second.
these on the slides?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
So you can follow this later.
Mhm.
But I'll quickly do this, and then I'll put it on the slides, and then you can follow it later.
Oh.
So let me just type something random. I'm just typing, and then I'll explain it in a
What's
second.
happening?
I'm definitely following now, but like for friends.
So I'm going to save this file into templates. Doesn't matter what you call it. And I'm going to do render template, index, HTML. Save it. We need to import. Yeah, I'll type this up because people need to follow this a little bit easier. We have to import render template. I don't think you need to install it, so it should just work. And what this will do, it will go to this file, see that this is just some HTML, and then return it. What we can do later is pass it in like a variable, and then use that variable within here. And then we actually get into like real web apps, which is super cool. So let me just try to run this and see what happens. So I'm going to be doing this locally. At any point, I could push it to the site and be fine. But it's way quicker to do this locally because you don't have to do git push Heroku master and then wait for it to upload every time. So if I do that, yeah, so you can see that if I look at the page source, this is the template that we had. So it's pretty simple. All I did was create a new file within the templates directory. So if I go to here, I can show you exactly what I mean. So there's a templates directory, and then I put index.html, which is this. And then in here, I just imported render template, which helps us. It looks for these templates in /templates, and then returns the HTML from the output of this file. So it's pretty simple, I think. So next, what we can do is create a form. Now this is different than anything we've done so far. I didn't cover this in the HTML CSS one, so I'll just do it now. So what we can do is we can do form. I'll just do that for now, and then I'll show you exactly what to do later. So form tag, we can do an input tag, type equals text, and you'll see what this does in a second. And then we can do a submit button. I think it's button type equals submit. So let's see what happens when we do that. All right. So what we did was create a text input, so we can do that. And that's pretty cool. And then we created a submit button. I didn't give it any text, so it just looks like that. What you can do is you can do, what is it? Value, I think? Maybe? Submit. I could be wrong. Hold on. I am wrong.
Put it in between backslash button.
What?
Submit in between the backslash button tag. Right?
Where?
Like make the end tag.
Oh, yeah, because this is button. I'm used to doing input type button. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you. So you can do submit. Yeah, the thing I was trying to do was input type button, and then you actually just do that, but you were correct, I believe.
Oh, no,
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Thank
Bonus points.
So I'm up to 1
I didn't do
point.
this before. I'm underprepared for this part. So this little bit of HTML created a form for us to do. And if we type some stuff and then hit enter, it'll submit the form. It's pretty cool. So that's what the submit button does. When you hit enter, it like submits the form. If you've ever used UB Wireless and you have to type in your password and stuff and you hit enter and it doesn't work, the reason is because they don't use a form. And they don't use a submit button. So they're just doing it incorrectly. So now you know. All right, so this isn't very useful unless we have this going somewhere. So what we can do is we can say action equals that. And actually, it does this by default, so you don't actually have to do this. But if you wanted to say do /login or something like that, or /post or something other than the current page, then that's helpful. Then you can also do method equals post. Anyone know the difference between a post request and a get request? Okay, so a get request to a server is just like this. When you type in google.com, when you type in facebook.com and hit enter, it's a get request. All it is the URL and a little bit more, but for the most part, it's just the URL. So if you click a link on here, if you click this link, this is a get request. Actually, hold on. Like that's a get request. It's just going to a page, and that's pretty much it. A post request is usually used when you have a form, because you can have a body to the request. So let's say that you have the username and password, or like a big blog post that you want to submit. It's a lot easier to use a post request, because if you use a get request, you would have to contain the entire blog post within like the URL, and it would be gigantic and really terrible. And there's actually a limit to like how big it could be, so it might just not work altogether. So that's a little intro to getting post requests. We'll be using a post request. So you can do method equals post, and yeah. So now what we want to do is we want to grab that on this end and actually show it somehow. So let's say that we do, and I'm going to have to Google some stuff because I didn't do this beforehand. So this is what I usually do. I Google how to get post request in parameters in Flask. It's totally okay to Google stuff all the time. I swear, I know what I'm doing. Post request. Post. Here we go. So this actually allows both post and get request, which is useful because we can do an if statement and see if it's a post request or a get request, and then do something different. So we'll actually do that, and we'll say over here, methods equals post get. So it allows both of them. And then we can say if it's a get request, request dot form. That's right. Or request that method, sorry. Method equals get. Then we want to show the form. So when we go to the site, it'll be a GET request, and it will show the form. But when we submit the form, it'll be a POST request. So we can do else if request dot method is POST. Then we can say return request dot form, which is right here, and this will get some of the attributes. So if this is a username and password kind of deal, then we can get the username, we can get the password, and we can send it off and do whatever we want. So I'll do this, and I'll say we can give this a name, so we can actually find it. Name. So this username part right here is the name of the field, and all you have to do is say name equals, let's do, I don't know, tweet or something. So that on the back end, we can say tweet. So when we submit the form, hopefully, if I did this right, which I might not have, we also have to import request. When we submit the form, instead of going to the template, it'll go to this one and hopefully output what we just typed in. I'll see if this works. If it doesn't, we can figure out what the problem is. Do some debugging. Oops. All right, so let me restart the server real quick. Oops. All right, I have an error. Unexpected min block. What did I do wrong? Oh, I put a semicolon. How did I do that? Still wrong. Line 7. What do I do? Oh, the indentation's all weird. It's better than that or that? There we go. That was just Python being weird with my indentations. All right, so let's try this again. Refresh it, no errors, that's good. So let's try test and test. Cool, that actually worked the first time. I'm actually surprised. So let's go over this again. When I first go to the page, it sends a GET request to the server. And we can check on the back end whether it's a GET request by this if statement. And then when we submit the form, it'll be a POST request. So we can say, if it's not a GET request and it's a POST request, then just return what was in the form. So again, if we just type in testing tweet, hit enter or type submit or whatever, it sends a POST request, goes to the server, and outputs this. So now we're actually starting to become like a real app. So what we can do to make this kind of like a Twitter thing is have a global variable, say tweets, have that be an array. And again, this is really fast, I know, but I'm running out of time. And we can do tweets.append, tweet, request.form, tweet. And what we can do is, oops. So that will build an array of tweets that people post. And what we can do is we can say, let's do this. Let's render the form every time. So now I'm just freestyling here. So let's get rid of these. No, we don't need to get rid of these. So we can say if it's a POST request, then add it to this array, and then render the template. And what we can do is we can send in that tweets. I believe we have to do this. Tweets equals tweets. And this will send this variable into index.html so we can use it. And what we can do is we can say, I think I'm doing this right. I'm going to Google this as well. We can do a for loop within the HTML, which isn't usually what you can do. But because this is a template in what's called Jinja, then it's all fine and dandy because you can do stuff like this. So I'll do that right here. So for tweet in tweets. In tweets. And then it's going to be N4 to close it. N4. And then inside we can just say tweet, we'll do paragraph. And then we can do tweet. Or is it double? Yeah, it's double. We can do tweet, end paragraph. And if everything is okay, which it might not be again, we'll find out in a second, then we should see all the tweets that were submitted right below the submit button. So let's try it out. That looks good, that looks good. Let's restart the server. No errors, that's good. Go to the site. Submit again. Let's try doing test. Ah, it worked. The first time, that's amazing. Tweet. So now we basically have Twitter, which is super cool. So again, I'll go over this, I'll go over the flow, and then I can answer questions if people are still confused. I know I did this fast. I'll try to put it on the slides probably soon. And so yeah, so let's go over this again. So when we go to this page and hit enter, it'll be a GET request. And it'll check to see if it's a post request, which is not, so it'll ignore this. And it'll return the template, which is index.html, and send it the tweets variable that we have here. So when we get to here, we have the tweets variable, and we can do a for loop and say, okay, let's put each tweet in its own paragraph, and that's it. And we end the for loop, and all the tweets show up. Every variable within here shows up. Now the downside to this is that when we reset the server, all our tweets get erased, which makes sense because this is getting run again. And the way we combat this is we have some kind of persistent data store, like a database. And I'll be talking about this more on the 4th week, not the 3rd week. 3rd week is going to be JavaScript. I might actually get into a little bit of it next week, but I don't know. So yeah, so if I go to here, I stop the server, which I'm just doing Control-C, and I do git commit. I'll do git add all, because I added the templates directory. Git status, just to see what's going on. Good, so it's adding my new index.html. And if I do git push Heroku master, everything is up to date. Why? Oh, I didn't commit. Why? Commit, added form and tweets. Git push Heroku master. And now, once I do this, we should be able to go to my UB tweets, I believe, .herokuapp.com. Once it's building it, so it's going to have an error. Once that happens, then anyone should be able to go to this URL, type in whatever they want, and then it'll just pop up. And everyone else will be able to see it once you reload the page. So once we do this, then all of you can spam it like you are my presentation. Any questions? I know I went super fast, and some of you might not even understand what's going on, but any questions I can answer? I see confused faces. Does it kind of make sense at least? Yeah, I see head nods. Okay, cool. So this is basically how you make a website. This is how most websites are made. Add on a database, add on some JavaScript, and you've got most web apps. Yeah. Is it done?
It's ubtwitter.herokuapp.com.
I believe so, yeah. All right, no errors, so it should be fine. So let me see. Oh, someone already posted. Cool.
Yeah,
There we go. Oh, hey.
Going up.
Wait. All right, so yeah, that's our Twitter clone. It's amazing, isn't it? I was hoping to style it more, but I kind of ran out of time.
Wait, mine's being weird.
Why?
Mine's not showing those.
Gotta refresh.
I did refresh.
Whoa, wait, why is it being weird? Oh, you know what it might be doing?
Have completely different results. Mine says this works, nothing, this works, hollow.
You know what's
this
happening?
works.
You know what's happening?
Yeah.
This is actually really awesome. Well, it's not. It's not because it's not actually working, but it's really awesome because the way Heroku works is it'll distribute this over multiple machines, and so actually this is how Unicorn works. So if I wasn't using Unicorn, this wouldn't do it. So Unicorn will run this on multiple threads, and so since it's on multiple threads being run multiple times, our global variable is different depending on which thread it's on. So that's actually really cool. I wonder how many threads are running. I'm totally geeking out, and nice. That's actually really cool. I mean, it's not nice, but yeah. So if we had a database, there would be one source of data, and I'll go over that in like 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is. Actually, I don't even know because we have break and everything. But anyway, so that's why this is happening. If you want, you can look up how to use like Postgres on Heroku if you really want to be adventurous, and then you can figure out how to actually do this. It looks like there's 2 different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's 2 threads going on, which is super funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Any questions?
That's why.
It's totally cool why it's doing it too. But all right, yeah, I think I'm done for today. It's been like 2 hours, so I don't want to waste any more of people's time.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, long time no see.
Yeah.
If you have any other questions, you can come up. I'll be out around for a little bit while longer. So yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yes.
Can you just check out my code as well?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not working.
All right. So yeah. Should be fine. And then after that. Yeah, that should be fine. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you're missing one thing.
Okay.
Well,
Forget your chips.
you have to put a name on this on the table.
Hey, Sean. Hey, how's it going?
Get that from the back.
Not much.
How
have you been?
Pretty good. I haven't seen you around.
Yeah. Listserv changing and me being taking leave of absence.
So now you have
Doing another job.
you do another one.
How's your project going? Yeah, it's good. We've made some progress at the back end. I recently did a study at a private school near.
So you need another input?
It went well.
I'll bring up my coding.
Yeah, so, yeah, how about you? How did that thing with the tester turn out?
Pretty good. So,
See how I have.
a little bit of
Yeah, yeah. All it is, it's
Yeah.
the type
I
of
graduated in
input.
May, so I'm going to be
The
going
name of the
to
input is
Connecticut
tweet.
for a company called Kaizen, and they do
And that's how we find it on the back end.
very similar things to what like Bloomberg does.
Would that cause my thing to
I'm
fail?
just hoping to get these classes out of the way.
It wouldn't
Last
cause
try.
your thing to have that error. Actually, it might because it
But yeah.
doesn't exist.
Hey.
Alright.
But
Right.
see what the error is. Try running it locally
providing
first.
sponsorship.
Oh,
So
how
just
do
do Python
Oh, okay.
and then your files.
So I'm going to start off on OPT, just because that's much faster.
Also, you can do tab.
Then
You
these
start
are really,
typing,
you know,
and then retab.
the process is really great.
Pull it out.
Yeah.
There's a certain timer. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, one project member, recent
So
project
that means
member
that
is on
there's
OPT,
an
works
indentation.
for
Sometimes it's just weird. So you might want to like backspace a little
nearby,
bit.
is working for a
Again.
project. So.
Yeah.
So he's going
Python
through the
sucks like
OPT
that.
process. We were
Yeah, so
discussing
save it.
letters and training and number of hours and how to construct.
You can also hit up.
Yeah.
as well.
But thankfully that's past, so moving on to actually doing some real work.
Yeah, and do the same
It's a
thing.
large barrier
I don't know why that happened.
to cross before you can really do it.
I think it happened because you
Well, it's
probably
good that
copied
it's
it
there.
originally
Yeah,
from my
yeah.
thing.
So it makes the process easier.
It was like
continuing
mixing space values and actual
guys of education, I guess.
Oh, so.
All right.
But anyway, I better run. My ride's outside.
Yeah, it was great seeing you. Have a great night, and hopefully I'll be more at these sessions.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got a little bit confused with the listserv.
Yeah.
One error at a
It's
time.
changing like every day, but I think are you on the recent one now?
Yeah,
Okay.
That should work.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
See you later.
Or do I
No,
need
you have to
oh,
go to it,
now
yeah.
I can do local.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes. And now you don't have to like push it to Heroku every time. Oh, you didn't do, so you see how I had a button? Oh yeah, so all you have to do is in between those two, just type like submit or whatever you want.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that will show up on the button.
Wow,
Cool.
great.
It works.
Sweet, thank you.
Sweet. Yes. Okay, okay. Let's go to your code. First of all, let's see here. Can I see you? Okay, we'll go to your code. Can I see the depths? So try again, try running it again, we can see what's happening wrong. There we go. No tag end. Okay, so you have a. Oh, you did end instead of N4. So if you go back to the index.html, right here, the actual index.html file. First of all, there you go. There's just no space in between the N4. No, not that. Like, it's in between N4. Yeah. Now it should work. Yeah. It's the little things. Nice. Let's see. Oh, you did parentheses, curly braces, should be two curly braces. Yeah, it's good. Now it should work. Yeah, there you go. See ya. Yep. How's it going?
How's it going?
Good. Haven't seen you in a while.
Sean, yeah. It's good to be back. I got a little bit confused with the listserv change. And,
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And then
What did you think it was at 8 or something?
No. The listserv change. It must have happened a while ago.
Oh,
I just stopped receiving the emails, and I took a leave of absence for one semester.
Okay.
Yeah, so now the project's being funded through my day job, so now
Oh,
the
is it?
project is
Sweet.
now a night job.
That's pretty cool.
Recently I've posted for an internship position on Bullseye.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I thought it was interesting that we're using Flask too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we're using the same thing.
Nice. Yeah, Flask is super simple.
Yeah.
It's really good to like start with. It's also like pretty powerful. I mean, my resume drop site is using it. I mean, it works fine.
Yeah.
Until you have like a gigantic site, like a really gigantic site, you don't need much more. Unless you want to use like Django, or if you want to use like something else, like Rails or something. But
Yeah.
that's up to you. That's up to the user. I like
Yeah.
simple.
Yes, yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yes.
Django. For a while I was focusing on Perl, and that was using Callus. And